Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be my December wrap-up. So I read a total of 4 books in December. Technically 5 because I did do a reread, but it was of a book that I had just read. But before I get into the wrap-up, I do have a few things that I want to mention. First of all, Happy New Year! I hope that 2021 is a way better year for all of us, and I'm wishing you all positive, happy, healthy vibes for 2021. I won't have a book haul for December. I did not buy any books for Boxing Day. I didn't really get any books for Christmas. I literally only got like 3 books in December, so sadly I won't have a haul for this month. And because it is the start of a new year, I obviously will be putting out all of my wrap-ups and end of year related videos, which means I will have 7 videos coming out starting with this video, and I will be uploading them every second day leading up to like my favorite books of the year and my favorite TV shows and movies of the year. And then after all of those videos are out, I will be taking a little bit of a break just because it is a lot of work to film and edit 7 videos in a short amount of time and for me to like keep putting them out. So yeah, after my favorite TV shows and movies of the year, after that video is out, I won't be uploading until the last Wednesday or Saturday of the month. And that will be like my monthly releases for February. Okay, now that all of that info is out of the way, let's get into the wrap up. I struggled a lot in December to read. I just really wasn't in the mood. The weird thing is I had so much time to read actually, and I just didn't. And then I read a new favorite book and it kind of put me in a slump. Like I didn't really want to read anything else. I wanted to kind of finish the year on a high note. And sadly, I just didn't read a lot in December, which sucks because I totally could have hit 200 books and I didn't. So the first book I read in December was Forever Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is the novella in the Simple Wild series. It's like the 2.5. And this is kind of a wrap-up to Kala and Jonah's story, like a better wrap-up than Wild at Heart was. It was just a short novella of them celebrating Christmas and having their friends and family over. I really liked it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It definitely made me want to be like in the Christmassy mood, and I think what I also love about this series is how atmospheric it is, and K.A. Tucker does a great job of making you feel like you are in Alaska and you just get the whole vibe. I just really enjoyed this novella and I loved Kala and Jonah and I loved how their relationship was going. I'm so happy K.A. Tucker decided to release this because it was way better than Wild at Heart. It was like a perfect mix of not it being too long, but also still getting a glimpse of them being happy and actually doing like couple things, and I don't know, I just really loved it. Then I read How the Hitman Stole Christmas by Sam Mariano. This is a dark Christmas romance. I have never read a Christmas dark romance, so I was very intrigued to read this one, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It was okay. This follows a hitman who is kind of finishing up a job and he bumps into this chick who is having trouble with her car on the side of the road, and essentially he just decides to kidnap her and bring her home for Christmas. She knows that he's like really twisted, but she kind of goes along with it because she notices that he's lonely. It's like, I feel like the female character was really ridiculous in this because she did fight a little bit at the beginning, but she just went along with it. I mean, she was dealing with her own relationship drama, so like she was kind of lonely. Genuinely, I thought this was going to be a lot darker than it was. It wasn't really as dark as some of her other books that I've read. It was definitely more on like the cuter side than it was like dark and twisted, because I initially thought like, oh, he's kidnapping her, he's a hitman, like this is gonna be some twisted Christmas stuff. It wasn't. If you are looking for like a different kind of Christmas romance, I would check it out. I guess it just wasn't as dark as I thought or wanted it to be, and the characters weren't anything special. Then I read probably my favorite book. No, it is my favorite book. And that is Chasing the Moon by S.M. Soto. Obviously, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I also did reread it. I read it like December 8th and then I reread it December 14th. I just couldn't stop thinking about this book and I didn't want to read anything else, and I was just so in love with it that I had to reread it again like shortly after, and I'm still obsessed with this book. I still love it so much. I feel like I really can't explain it because it's hard for me to explain my favorite books because I feel like I'm not very good at explaining books in general, and so it's harder for me to explain my favorite books. So this is like a modern retelling of the Greek myth of Selene and Endymion. This book kind of has two timelines. Like, it starts off with Selene when she's really young and how she is kind of quiet, kind of a wallflower. She first meets Endymion when she is, I think, like 11 or something, and she falls in love with him at first sight. And he's a couple of years older than her. They oddly have like this weird connection, but again, she's kind of the quiet girl. Every interaction that they've ever had before she turns 18 is very important to her. Then one night he suddenly looks at her a little differently, but things don't really turn out the way that she thought they would. 6 years later, Selene is back in town. She's a single mom now, and she is taking care of her sick dad. Endymion is suddenly kind of wrapped up in her family, and Endymion is finally noticing Selene more, and he is interested in her, and things happen. I'm really butchering this. I'm so sorry, but this book is so beautiful. It is my favorite book. I have such a deep connection with any kind of book that has symbolism for suns and moons. And I mean, I have a moon tattoo. I am very much obsessed with anything relating to the moon. So this book just, I literally read like the dedication and I was like, this is gonna be my favorite book. Like, I didn't even fucking read the prologue and I was already obsessed with it. So I love this book. Sadly, I don't have a physical copy yet. I will be getting one soon. I did buy one, so hopefully that'll arrive soon. I'm just gonna list off some of the tropes because I feel like I didn't explain this book very well. So it has second chances, unrequited love, Greek mythology retelling, single parent. Such a beautiful, beautiful book, and I'm obsessed with it. I love everything about it. I love the characters. I love their romance. I loved everything about this book, and I feel like I can't properly describe how much I love this book. I also cried a bunch while reading this. I also love the author's writing. This is the first time I have ever read an SM Soto book, and I'm obsessed with it. I can't wait to read her other books because I love this one so much, and she's definitely an author that I want to read everything by because I loved this book. And the last book I read in December was Bound by Blood by Cora Riley. This is the Born in Blood anthology, so it's basically like the 7.5. It's a bunch of short stories and novellas that Cora Riley has written over the years. Like, some I think she included in some other anthologies, as she just decided to put like all of her short stories together. This I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Obviously it's a dark romance. It follows all her other Born in Blood characters. I did enjoy it. I understand people's complaints about it, specifically like Matteo and Gianna's story. Like, they pretty much had like a full-length novella in this one. I understand like specifically like the birth scene, how like unrealistic that is, but I also just think like it's a book. I don't know what y'all expect. I do have to say theirs was probably not my favorite just because I didn't really enjoy them in general like throughout the series. I think my favorite stories are definitely Mauro, is that how you say his name? Mauro, and Stella's story, and I hope that that's going to become like a full-length novel because that was great and I really loved that. I also did really like Romero and Liliana's story. They've always been super cute. Yeah, I can see where people's complaints are. Like, it's not the best anthology I've ever read. I still really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see where Cora goes with all of her characters in the spin-off series. I'm very excited for that. So that is it for my December wrap-up. I'm sorry if it was really short. Again, I didn't really read that many books in December, but I did read a new favorite book, so I'm very happy with that. Let me know how many books you guys read in December. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!